We're going to be reading the gift of the Magi, and more specifically, I would like for us to focus on reading with expression in our peer groups today. But before we can get into the gift of the Magi, there were a couple of things I wanted to cover with you guys as far as reading with expression is concerned. So when we're talking about reading with expression, what are some things that you think impact the way that we express ourselves in our reading? Charlene? Yes. Patrick, do you want to help her out? What are some things that impact the way we express ourselves while we're reading? Go ahead. Okay, so when you're not fluent, yes, that will impact the expression while you're reading. The punctuation, right? So based off of whether we have a question mark, a period, a exclamation point, a comma, a semicolon, all of those things impact the way that we respond while we read, right? So here I have the sentence, a woman without her man is nothing. What I'd like for you guys to do is to go ahead and write it down. And over the course of the lesson, we'll look at punctuation and to see how it changes the meaning and how it creates different effects. Okay, so capital letters and full stops. That's one of the first things I want to cover with you guys. You think that you already know it, and you should, but still many of you don't use capital letters at the beginning of a sentence or a full stop or a period at the end. So here are a series of simple sentences that I want to go over. It was a lovely day. The family decided to go for a picnic to Sea Calling on the Norfolk coast. They took a really big hamper full of yummy food. There were tuna salad sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, crisps, and drinks for everyone. The dog came too and got so excited that he nearly went to the toilet in the car. What do you guys think about that paragraph or that group of words that I just read? What were you able to gather from it? Yes, go ahead, Robert.
There are no punctuations except with being a comma to identify.
Okay, so there is no punctuation with the exception of when there's like the list of the yummy food. What else, Patrick?
It's a run-on.
It's a run-on, okay. But where does it show that it's even a sentence? How do we know that it's a sentence? Huh? We don't, right? Huh? That's the point, right. So we do need to add some capitalization and some punctuation here. So what's the first thing we need to do with this sentence? Yes? Capitalize the I in it because it's the beginning of the sentence. What else do we need to do? Go ahead.
Put a period between coast and
Put a period between coast and they. Okay, so we put a period right there. What else? Yes? Capitalize the T after coast, yes?
and put period at the end.
Put a period at the end of what?
Sorry.
Car. Okay? Anything else that we need to do in between the capital T here and the period that's there? Go ahead, Gabriella. Okay. After, for everyone, we add another period. What do we need to do after that period? Go ahead. Capitalize the T in the dog. What else?
I have a question.
Yes.
Why isn't it indented?
Why is it indented?
Like you see how it's like,
The formatting is off?
yeah.
That's a really good question. No particular reason at all. Okay. Anything else? Yes.
So it's a period after food?
A period after food. Where?
Yeah.
Okay, the really big hamper full of yummy food. Period. There were tuna, salad, sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, crisps, and drinks. I think someone already said that. No?
No. But I thought it would be a comma.
You thought it would be a comma there. Okay. So they took a really big hamper full of yummy food, comma. There were tuna salad sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, crisps, and drinks for everyone. Do you think it's a period instead? Okay. So now, the sentence. Fixed. It was a lovely day. The family decided to go for a picnic to sea palling on the North Norfolk coast. They took a really big hamper full of yummy food. There were tuna salad sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, crisps, and drinks for everyone. The dog came too and got so excited that he nearly went to the toilet in the car. Okay? So you guys are right. We needed to capitalize the I here. No one actually thought to make this into two sentences, right? We never talked about making that into two sentences. You guys are right about this. Where Charlene said after food, there should be a period instead of the comma that Jakaya suggested. She was correct. Should have been a sentence there. It would have stopped at everyone. And then lastly, the sentence with the dog would have been one on its own. Very big difference from what I read initially to what you guys received the second time around, right? Okay. Let's move forward. So you realize that the importance of capitalization and periods and just punctuation in general does play a very big role. So when else should you use a capital letter? Well, for proper nouns, so the names of people, places, events or special events, names of novels, poems, films, videos, things of that nature. Here's a great example. Even the word I, when we refer to ourselves, should be a capital letter because it's the name we give ourselves. The only time I ever see people do lowercase i's, for the most part, are Buddhists. They typically do not capitalize the I when they are referring to themselves. It's always a lowercase. And they do that because they don't want to appear that they think highly of themselves. So the I is always lowercase when they refer to themselves. And I think that there are some other religious groups that do the same. Okay, and the capital letter. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'll be 23. We're going to see American Beauty, the Sam Mendes film, at the cinema. The poem is called To a Mouse by Robert Burns. What needs to be capitalized in that first one? Tomorrow is my birthday. I will be 23. Go ahead, Charlene.
The T.
The T. What else? Gabriella.
The I.
Okay, the T and the I. Correct. What else needs to be capitalized in number one? Or in that first one? Birthday?
No.
No? Okay. Number two. Wait, why do you
Because
think?
I thought, because you know when people say happy birthday, they put happy in capital letters and they put birthday in capital.
Right, but birthday itself wouldn't necessarily be capitalized, right? Birthday is not the special event, or like a special title or a specific title of something. But a happy birthday is something different. Okay? Number two, we're going to see American Beauty, the Sam Mendes film, at the cinema. Go ahead, Patrick.
You can capitalize W and we.
Okay, capitalize W and we. What else? Yes. American Beauty. Yes. Sam Mendes. What else?
The cinema.
The cinema?
The cinema is a place.
Right, it's a place.
It's not the name of it.
It's not the name of it. So if we said Aventura Mall, would the Aventura be capitalized? Right, it's a place. It's the name of the place. But cinema itself, no. Yes.
Around American Beauty, yeah, I hope.
There are apostrophes there. And lastly, the poem is called To a Mouse by Robert Burns. What needs to be capitalized, Shanae? Robert Burns, the name, and what else?
The T and the
To a mouse. Does the A need to be capitalized? The A does need to be capitalized, but the T and the M in To a Mouse does. Very good. Okay. And you guys were correct about that? That birthday was not.
he told you T.
Huh?
And the
No, someone did say that at the beginning of the sentence. Yeah, you got that. Okay, so commas, semicolons, and colons. This is a comma. Why do we use them? Well, we use them to create a pause in a sentence, okay? However, we must be mindful of where we put it because it could change the meaning. Robert, do you want to go ahead and read the first sentence for me, or the first question?
What is this thing? Where is this thing called?
Okay, what is this thing called love? Jakaya, do you want to read the second sentence for me? or the second question, excuse me.
What is thing called love?
You read the first one. Second one, you have to pay attention to what? The punctuation.
Yeah, what is thing called love?
Okay.
You got this.
Oh, I did? I'm sorry. Insert this. So, try it again.
What is this thing called love?
Okay. What is this thing called love? And then the last one, Gabriella.
What is this thing called love?
What is this thing called? Love? Very, very good with your pause at the end. So, what is this thing called love? What is this thing called love? What is this thing called love? Realize how different the placement of those commas, how the placement of those commas change the meaning and how you interpret the question you're being asked. How do you interpret that second question, Jakai? What is this thing called love? You're asking, all three of them are asking questions. How does it change the meaning, that placement of the comma? If it changes the meaning at all to you. It does? How?
Because it's like they're asking the question again before they can ask what is this thing called love.
Okay. How about you, Robert?
I'm going to say the first one and the third one. I know the difference between the two. So that would say, what is this thing called love? But at the ending, it's when it says love, when it says what is this thing called love, it's like it's giving, like it's asking, is it called love? Like it could be another option.
Okay, very, very good. Great point that she made. I'm glad that you guys are starting to see that there is a difference. So look at this sentence. Eats, shoots, and leaves. Where else can the comma go to change the meaning? Eats, shoots, and leaves. Yeah.
I could shoot.
Okay, so eats,
You put
comma, shoots, comma, and leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. Just by itself, eats, shoots, and leaves. What does that mean to you? What do you gather? Yes.
I think it's listing what they did.
Okay, so does this list for you? Or does this list for you?
The one under the question.
Each shoots. When you read it like this, each shoots and leaves, it sounds like you're eating shoots and leaves. But eats, comma, shoots, and leaves sounds like what?
It sound like it still sound like you eating shoots and leaves.
It still sounds like
No,
that?
it sounds like it. It's like you ate, then you did something, and then you just left.
Okay, that's what you got from the second one. But the first one sounds like you ate shoots, whatever shoots are, and leaves. And the second one is I ate, maybe I shot a ball or I shot a gun, and then I left. You see the difference? You see how that the placement of the comma changed the meaning? Anybody not see that?
I just thought if you had a comment after shoots, then it would be more listed.
Okay, and so that's just a style thing. Some people do put commas before ands, some people don't. So if you were to add it, it would still just be listing. It wouldn't change the meaning though. Because it would still be eats, comma, shoots, comma, and leaves. That's it. So the only difference is that by adding that comma there, you have a pause. So instead of saying shoots and leaves, you'd say shoots and leaves. Okay? So it would just add more emphasis on the fact that after you either shot the gun or shot the ball, you left. Okay? Alright. Commas can also be used to separate items into a list, like we talked about. There were tuna salad sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, crisps, and drinks for everyone. Really only good for short lists, though. For longer lists, you need a semicolon and the colon. Okay? And we're all familiar with the semicolon and the colon, right? Yes, I always ask that you use this sometimes even for emphasis in your writing. So like this, there were several things she liked about him. his hair, his sense of humor, his almost terminal good nature, his fascination with historical trivia, and his fantastic physique. Okay, so you can make a much longer list with the use of colons and semicolons, as you can see. So here is your colon. Here is your semicolon. And then you go on to list. List, okay? So his good nature, how do we describe his good nature, or how do we list things about his good nature? Well, his fascination with historical trivia and his fantastic physique, all right? Or his hair and his sense of humor. All of those are ways in which we list and we separate our lists. Questions? Great. Okay, so colons and semicolons. As you can also use a colon for impact in your writing, like this. Go ahead and read that for me, Charlena.
There was only one thing in the world that would cheer her up now. Chocolate.
Very good. Go ahead, Jakaya, with the second one.
He obeyed his first instinct.
Very good. What do you think would have happened if that was not there? Let's just pretend that that colon wasn't there. Go ahead and read that for me without a colon, Janaea, the first one.
There was only one thing in the world that would cheer her up now. Chocolate.
Okay. There was only one thing in the world that would cheer her up now, chocolate.
It sounds like they're calling somebody chocolate.
Sounds like you're calling somebody or something chocolate, okay? As opposed to, there was only one thing in the world that would cheer her up now, chocolate. Okay, so it sounds like the chocolate is the thing that would cheer her up, as opposed to somebody being called chocolate, or somebody being referred to as chocolate. And how about the same thing, Robert? Go ahead and read the second one for me.
He obeyed his first instinct, right?
Okay, and let's take the semicolon out.
He obeyed his first instinct, right?
He obeyed his first instinct, run. How does that sound? As opposed to, he obeyed his first instinct, run. Which one has more emphasis on his instinct? The first one, using the colon, or taking it away?
Using the colon.
The usage of the colon, very good.
You can better understand it.
You get a better understanding, very good. So it does build or aid with your comprehension. So now, let's return to that first sentence that I gave you about a woman without her man. And I would like to see if you can find ways to make that same sentence, a woman without her man is nothing, turn into something else. So, using what we've gone over, so far we've gone over a comma and a semicolon, I want you to go ahead and change the meaning of that word. A woman without her man is nothing. So you might want to write it again, and now you want to add another piece of punctuation so we can see how it's changed. That was home learning. So write it on here really big. Get a black marker off my desk. There's a Sharpie right over there. Okay, so a woman without her man is nothing. Who wants to share what they have gone on to adapt it to be? Go ahead, Gabriella. And I'll actually write it so that we can see how it changes. Give me a second, I only have this thing on. All right. So, a woman without her man.
A woman without her man is
Let me see if I can guess what you put there. Say it again.
a woman without her man is nothing.
Is that where you put your comma? Very good. All right, so Gabriella took her sentence, a woman without her man is nothing, and and turned it to a woman without her man is nothing. Someone else changed the placement of their of the punctuation, or added something, or took something away. Go ahead, Robert.
A woman without her man is nothing.
A woman without her man is nothing. Where did you put your punctuation? What type of punctuation did you use, and where did you put it?
Like the first sentence when you say a woman without her man is nothing, it's like you repeating but in the question to make sure she.
So you turned it into a question. So instead of a period, you have a question mark. Very good. So Robert decided to turn it into a question. A woman without her man is nothing. Like, I never knew that. Okay, something else. Someone who has something else. Go ahead.
A woman without her man is nothing.
That sounds good. A woman, comma, without her man is nothing?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, good job. Hopefully, I would like to see you guys at least try to do 2. So if you have 1 already, please go ahead and work on creating another one before class is over. And here's one here. It says a woman without her man is nothing. Made it seem as if it were a list, right? A woman without her man is nothing.
Oh, I get it.
Get it? Woman without her man is nothing. Okay?
You
A
don't
woman
get
without her
it?
man is nothing.
It's like without like woman, man ain't nothing.
Yeah. People.
Okay, I get it.
Or humanity. Yes. Very good. Okay. So using punctuation properly and appropriately in exams can always, of course, get you a better grade, but it also improves the ability that your reader has to understand what you're writing and what you're trying to communicate. So make sure that you have your name, date, class period on your little card, and we're going to go ahead and stop there.